you feeling today? It's Eros71 here, and today I'm coming at you with Choose Your Deck Profile Winner. Dark Magician Girl deck profile, pretty much. This deck is kind of fun. It still have a little bit of problems and struggles, but this is the pure version. It's not with any invoked or something like that. It's mostly Dark Magician Girl with the additional help of Dark Magician in order to make it as best as possible. It still have its own problems. It's not as good as Dark Magician deck normally, but it's still really fun. But before we will jump right into it, I want to do something new. That I might going to do it, like, not every single video, but I'm going to do it when I have the ability to, and, when I find something like that, and that is shout out for small channels that I think could have the potential to become really good, but they just need people to help them. Now, of course, I'm not forcing you guys to go and support them specifically, but those are small channels that I think, they have potential. I don't want them to go through everything that, small channels have to. Of course, they will have to wait sometimes until we'll get to the 1,000 subscribers and everything, but, if you can go help and support them and, just get them to a higher, of course, if you enjoy the content. If you don't enjoy the content, I will not force you. But if you enjoy those kind of content of things, not only Yu-Gi-Oh! Or stuff like that, just go help them. I think that will be kind of useful for them and just give them motivation. So the first channel I'm going to support this week by saying his name, I'm going to support OCG Hunter, which is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel, is pretty much doing openings for mostly OCG products from Korea, from Japan, and all that stuff. So if you guys enjoy OCG openings or you just want to see those kind of things, go check him out. He's a cool guy. I like him quite a bit. I think right now he's sitting around on 40 subscribers, but we can help him get higher results if you guys want to and you enjoy the content. But without further ado, let's get started with Dark Magician Girl deck profile. Now, also one thing I would say that I will leave his channel, a link in the description down below. Starting things off, we run 2 copies of Dark Magician Girl. 2 Dark Magician Girl. I don't think you need a third one. If you want to run a third one, you're more than welcome to. But the reason why I run only 2, I've seen a lot of deck profiles also run 3, but the reason why I run only 2 is that because this card is a freaking brick. It just does absolutely nothing in your hand. It just nothing. You rather just special summon it with the effect of Magician Navigation from your deck and make it live like that. It's still a really cool card and it still can become really big, but 3 copies is just a freaking brick. Also, I like to run 2 arts because it's me. Then we're going to the 2 copies of Kiwi Magician Girl. She's your Kalut. She's really nice, but you don't need more than 2. Again, she can become a brick. I also kind of consider maybe cutting her down to 1, but I still like her quite a bit, so, I run her still at 2. Then the best Magician Girl, in my opinion, 3 copies of Chocolate. Chocolate, in my opinion, is the best because she's always useful. You draw a card, you discard a Spellcaster and draw, which is kind of also setting your graveyard. So this card is pretty good. Like it quite a bit. It's my favorite Magician Girl for a reason. And the last one I'm running for the Magician Girls, I'm running 3 copies of Barry. Barry is your mini Stratos, searching every single one of those. So you have 7 targets, I believe the correct number is. So you have 10 Magician Girls, but you search 7 targets. You have 7 targets in your deck. I think she can also search herself, but you mostly don't want to do that because it doesn't really give you anything. Most of the time I like to search her for the Kalut effect or whatever. This is the line of the Magician Girls that I like to run. I don't run no Apple or no Lemon. If you guys want to run them at 1 or 2 or whatever you would like to run them, you're more than welcome to. I just never find them to be useful. Apple probably better than Lemon because her effect of special summoning her level 5 or higher. But they don't really do anything useful. They're kind of they're cool cards, but they're very, very, very slow compared to this. This at least give you something. This at least give you drawing this card. This is the main part that you run this deck, and this one is just a Kalut effect, which is not bad. But the 2 others are just not really doing anything. So that's why I decided to cut them down completely, even though I really wanted to run them in the deck. But, you're more than welcome to do whatever you guys want. You can run the one of each of them, if not even more, depending on your preference. Then, for the other engines that help the deck quite a bit, we'll run the Dark Magician engine, which is 3 Dark Magician, 3 Apprentice, and 3 Rod. Now, three Dark Magician and three Rod, or like, some people like might ask me why do I maximize on Dark Magician or, Apprentice or Rod or whatever. Well, I came to the conclusion that Dark Magician is actually pretty important for a deck like this. And he's kind of a brick, but like not always a brick, that's compared to other things. Apprentice is pretty good because it's giving you a body on the board, and it's also giving you a search and a discard, which is pretty good. Magician's Rod is of course your best normal summon for the fact that like it's giving you a search most of the time. And I want to maximize on this card because they're all really good. I don't understand why people only run her at 2. She's amazing. She's making your Magician navigation all the time like working. Like it doesn't really matter for her collude effect or whatever that is. I don't really care about that. I mostly care for the fact that she searches for me Dark Magician and add it to my hand. And also she's a level 6, so it's worked quite well for making rank 6 plays. So this is the lineup of the Dark Magician cards that I decided to run. If you want to change things, again, you're more than welcome to. I decided to run this lineup because I felt like this is the best lineup I can think of. The problem with Dark Magician Girl deck is that you do really need to see your combo pieces as soon as possible because this deck is not the most strongest thing in the world. And then the last one I'm running is the last normal summon, which is Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, just to have the Spellbook engine rolling if I don't see the Spellbook engine. And that's pretty much it for the monsters. I believe that's 20 monsters. Now we'll move on to the spells. 3 copies of Magician's Circle, Dark Magical Circle. This card is obviously good. I mean, it's better in Dark Magician, of course, but it's still pretty good for the fact that it can search for you cards, make it a little bit of also a disruption card on the board. Now, you could cut this card to 2 if you want to, or even cut it down to 1 if you believe that is correct, or even not play this card at all. But I think like Dark Magical Circle is actually really good. A card that I consider maybe playing instead was Dark's Village of Spellcasters, but I came to the conclusion that like sometimes I don't really have a spellcaster on the board or something like that, so it's like it's interesting. Secret Village as a spellcaster is an interesting one that I still need to play test out with. So if you don't want Dark Magical Circle, you could play Secret Village of the spellcasters if you want to play test with that. Then 1 Dark Magic Inheritance, really good one-off, search for you almost everything in your deck, which is really good from the spells that you want. 1 Dark Magic Attack, because most of the time like you end up with the Dark Magician, so that's really good to deal with spells and traps. 1 Dark Burning Magic for the case that you end up with Dark Magician Girl and you want to have a Raigeki. 1 copy of Dark Burning Magic, only 1 though, because sometimes it's not that great, but this is a really good card, again, additionally to another Disturbance. I don't like to run this card more than 1. I might going to run it more than 1 instead of this, but like it feels like this card is pretty good. But it's also have the problems that like sometimes you don't have the 2 monsters on the board, and or your opponent just like can negate that, and just it's not the best card in the world. It's a really good one-off, but like it's also a brick if you open up with it. So it's like it's one of those cards that like I really like, but like if you want to run 2 Dark Burning Magic, you're more than welcome to, or whatever that call is. Yeah, Dark Burning Magic, but I specifically don't like more than 1. I like 1 of each because it's utility for whenever I need to. Then 2 copies of Iotomize, 2 copies of Spellbook of Secret, my apologies, and Spellbook of Knowledge. I don't think I need to explain any of these. Iotomize is the fusion, and this is just the Spellbook engine. And then lastly, 1 copy of Dark Magic Veld, which could be Monster Reborn. I'm just too lazy to take out my Monster Reborn from other decks and just sleeve it up in this deck sleeve. And that's it for the spells. Now we'll move on to the traps. 3 copies of of Magician Navigation. This card is amazing. It's even better in Dark Magician Girl build because it just makes a Dark Magician Girl build a lot more viable. So 3 copies of Magician and Navigation. It's pretty good. 2 copies of Eternal Soul, just to have, an additional searching capability and or some kind of protection for Dark Magicians. And, the drill with Eternal Soul. You don't want a 3 off because you don't really care about having this card at more than, you don't really focus on Dark Magician, so you don't want 3. And it's also problematic sometimes if you don't have Dark Magician the Dragon Knight to protect it, because it could kill your entire board. And then lastly, 1 copy of Dark Renewal, again, another so-called interruption to your opponent to, if your opponent normal or special summon a monster, you can target one of those monsters and then pretty much get another either Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl or whatever Dark Spellcaster that you want to back to your field by getting rid of one of their monsters, which is pretty cool. And that pretty much does it for the main deck. Now we'll move on to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we will of course run one copy of Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight for your fusion plays, as well as one Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, one Dark Paladin, and one Amulet Dragon. I don't think I need to explain. The fusions are pretty much self-explanatory. You don't need more than one of each because they're just okay just as one of each. Oh wow, the light is not that great today. Anyway, one copy of Ebon Illusion Magician, one copy of Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger. My apologies, wow, is that a tongue twister? You want to run one of that as well because you do have 2 rank 6, which is Utopia Beyond and Naruto the Moral Leader. If you need to, go into this and just end games or whatever, it's really, really good. This is technically end games, but like sometimes you want to use the Naruto to make Charger because, Charger sometimes is better, depending on the situation. Then that's it for the Fusion and the XC. We're now move on for the Link, Borreload, Phoenix, Cerberus, Apprentice, Underclock for OTKs again, Link Spider for Dark Magician if you need to, and Link Karibo for your Berry Magician Girl. And that pretty much does it for the extra deck and does it for the deck profile. Unfortunately, like I said, Dark Magician Girl is a interesting deck. It has its fair share of problems, but I like this deck quite a bit nevertheless. It's a cool deck overall. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And if you have any suggestion how to make this deck better, I will really much appreciate it. And you let me know in the comments down below, because I like this deck quite a bit, but it has its own fair share of problems, which make it like kind of not the most playable deck around, but hey, it's still fun to play around with. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Remember, creativity is the key in this game. Have a good day, guys. Stay safe, and if you're going to support one of the channels that I said to you want to support them, I will leave them, once again I'm going to say that, in the description down below. You can go, check them out, and just give them a sub, or whatever kind of support that you think for, and try to help them. So the first channel, like I said, is OCG Hunter. See you guys next week, and once again, stay safe, and next video is going to be Predator Plants. Bye-bye.